Hello, and in this video we're going to be going through the answers to the questions to do with maintaining water and nitrogen balance in the body. So let's have a look at these questions. Question number 1. It's important to remove waste products from our bodies. Healthy kidneys help to keep our internal environment constant. Describe how a healthy kidney produces urine. And this is a 4-mark question, so we're going to need to make 4 distinct points. So, what does the kidney do? Well, number 1, it filters the blood. Number 2, it reabsorbs the glucose. The important thing here is that it reabsorbs all of the glucose. It's not enough just to say it reabsorbs glucose, it's important it reabsorbs all of the glucose. What else does it reabsorb? Well, it also reabsorbs some of the ions, not all of them, and some of the water. Obviously, the amount of water that reabsorbed depends on how hydrated your body is. And finally, what's number 4? It releases urea in urine. And then we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4 points to get us our 4 marks. Let's have a look at the next question. A child has kidney failure and is treated with dialysis. Before the dialysis starts, the doctor measures the concentration of urea and glucose in the child's blood. And the table below shows the results. Here we've got the concentration in the blood before dialysis starts of urea, which is 28 micromoles per dm cubed, and glucose of 6. The child has a normal blood glucose concentration. Sketch a graph on figure 1 to suggest what will happen to the concentration of urea in the blood during dialysis. So we need to use our table here. We're looking at urea, and we can see that at the start urea has a concentration of 28. So 28 on our graph would be here, 2 below the 30, as each graph represents 1. And then we want to think about what happens to the amount of urea during dialysis. So dialysis removes urea from the blood, so therefore we're going to see a negative gradient as it goes down to the end of dialysis. Okay, let's keep going for our next question. Okay, sketch a graph on figure 2 to suggest what will happen to the concentration of glucose in the blood during dialysis. Well, from our table before, the concentration of glucose at the start was 6. So we know it's going to start off with 6. So again, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. And we need to think about what happens to the concentration of glucose throughout dialysis. The concentration of glucose should stay level, and therefore we'd expect it to stay at 6. And so it'll go across like so. Obviously better with a ruler. Another way of treating kidney failure is with a kidney transplant. A transplanted kidney can be rejected. Explain why the new kidney may be rejected. So this links back to the disease part of the topic. The reason that it might be rejected is because it will trigger an immune response. And this is where your white blood cells will produce antibodies due to the different antigens on the surface of the new kidney. Really important to get those keywords, especially when we're talking about immune response, those keywords being antibodies and antigens, and making sure we get them in the right order. The white blood cells produce the antibodies, and the antigens are found on the surface of the cell or virus that it's attacking. And finally, our last question. Describe one way in which doctors try to prevent kidney rejection. Well, one of the ways that doctors will try to prevent kidney rejection is by using tissue typing, where they try and match the donor kidney to the person receiving it. Other ways that this can be done is by using drugs that will suppress the immune response that we talked about in the question previously. And so there we go, we've completed our questions on pages 50 and 51. I hope you did well.